My favorite war movie is Kelly's Heroes. I love Kelly's Heroes because the tankers in that movie that's exactly how we would be if we were allowed to be. The way that they do things is exactly what we would do. It's hilarious. But, you know, we're not allowed to do that. And then one of my favorite scenes in it is towards the beginning when Big Joe is on the radio talking to the mortars at the other end, and he just yells at him. He's like, the reason you can't hear me is because you're firing your mortar on your end and they're landing here at our end. Knock it off! You know, like slams it down. It's hilarious.
My favorite war movie of all time is probably A Bridge Too Far, which is a war movie that came out, I think, in 1977, and it's based on the book by Cornelius Ryan. And the movie is about Operation Market Garden, which is the largest Allied airborne operation of World War II, and it's kind of judged today to be a pretty big failure, especially for the British. Whereas most war movies tend to portray some type of Allied victory, like The Longest Day or Saving Private Ryan, where ultimately they win. You know, at the end of this movie, you know, things don't turn out so well for the Allies. You know, a bunch are killed and tens of thousands are captured by the Germans at Arnhem, and pretty much the whole operation is a failure. So it's a really good movie about a moment in military history that not a lot of people probably like to talk about or care to remember.
The Longest Day is one of my favorite movies. I got to see that in 2003 when we did a tour of Normandy, and The Longest Day is all about June 6, 1944, and the invasion of Normandy. Has huge sweeping pan shots of, I think they got 1st Division troops actually in the 1960s to depict the soldiers on Normandy. And one of my favorite scenes is where Pluskat, the German officer, is in his pillbox on the phone with his superiors, and he's saying, "Yes, the Americans have 5,000 ships, and they are right here."
Hi. I'd like to say that my favorite war movie is The Big Red One, and I really like that movie. But my favorite of all time is Glory, 1989. About the 54th Regiment of Massachusetts Infantry in the American Civil War. It was an all-black regiment and fought heroically through the eastern campaigns of the Civil War. I like it because of its authenticity. Finally, it tells the very powerful story of African American soldiers who fought for America not because of what it was, but because of what it might be, and they were twice the heroes for doing so.
Okay, so favorite war movie, it would probably have to be, was it Zack Snyder's 300? The 300, you know, again, it's a movie that really that really brings history to life for people who might not necessarily have studied it.
My favorite war movie is Pan's Labyrinth by Mexican filmmaker Guillermo del Toro. It is a fairy tale for adults. It takes place in the aftermath of the Civil War in Spain. I don't have a favorite scene. I think everything's perfect. It's beautiful.
If I had to pick a favorite movie about a wartime, it would definitely be Steven Spielberg's War Horse, because it stars two of my favorite actors, Benedict Cumberbatch and Tom Hiddleston. But more importantly, there's a scene in the movie where the British Cav guys are all hyped up. It's their first big Cav charge, and they're all looking heroic and stuff. And as they're coming up, they meet up with the Germans, who are all equipped with machine guns. And we always talk about how World War I is the first modern war, and I feel like that scene in particular really captures that feeling, with the old way meeting with the new way, and of course, spoilers, but chaos ensues.
So the question is what's my favorite war movie? I don't have just one, I have a list of them. So let's see. You got All Quiet on Western Front, you got Glory, you got Patton, you got Defiance, you got Saving Private Ryan, Full Metal Jacket, Black Hawk Down, Patton, We Were Soldiers, Apocalypse Now, Enemy at the Gate, good one, Saints and Soldiers, The Bridge on the River Kwai is a good one, Gods and Generals, The Great Escape, good motorcycle scene. Let's see here, Memphis Belle, Red Tails, Taekook GI, that's a good one. You got The Patriot, War Horse, and let's not forget Fury. You have a great day.
The greatest war movie of all time is Star Wars.